everyone, and welcome to the Something in Mimosas podcast, a show where we share powerful life lessons, a few laughs, and empower women while sipping on mimosas. Now, grab some orange juice and champagne and welcome your host, Gail Dudley.
Well, hello, everyone. This is Gail Dudley, your host of Something and Mimosas, and I am so excited to have on with me on this program today, on this podcast, Sandra Preston-Rogers. I'm going to tell you more about her in a moment, but you want to get your pen and paper because we're talking travel today, and so many of us have been inside the house for so long. We are ready to get going somewhere and somewhere soon, and somewhere that's going to be safe. Especially since we're still in the middle of a pandemic. So I know y'all got y'all's mimosas already, but let me give you this recipe for the one that you're going to bring to the podcast with you next week. Y'all are going to love this one. It's called the Merlot Mimosa. Yeah, we're not talking orange juice and champagne today. We're talking some orange juice or some peach nectar. Y'all know I love peach nectar. And some Merlot. Hello, somebody. It is so good. It is so simple. You just pour your glass, about 6 ounces of Merlot, and then you top it off with either your orange juice. Some people even do pineapple juice or your peach nectar. You put a few berries in the middle. Bam, you got a mimosa. See, we try to look at mimosas as orange juice and champagne. And now this is episode, I believe, 19 or 20. You will see that we can do mimosas all kinds of ways. So let's just enjoy it. All right, y'all. I'm so excited to have Sandra Preston-Rogers with us today. She was born in Nurnberg, Germany. I've actually been there, by the way. She took her first and longest flight to date in 1971, but her next flight did not come for another 30 years, y'all. Her career reflects this pattern as well. After 15 years in corporate America and 11 years working for nonprofit organizations, Sandra finally found her passion in travel. She started her travel business, JLP Travel, in 2017, naming it in honor of her parents, especially her father. In her words, her father absolutely loved travel and made a promise to her mother that once he retired, the two of them would travel the world. Unfortunately, his retirement has met with a lung cancer diagnosis, and he passed 14 days later. There was never a promise that she can recall he made and didn't keep. She wasn't going to let it start now, she says. Sandra grew up in Southwest Virginia and has lived in Maryland, Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Massachusetts. She has traveled around the U.S. and the Caribbean multiple times, Cancun being her favorite thus far. As a natural planner and traveler, starting a travel business made perfect sense and came with ease. Expert training in all areas of travel, including group travel, cruises, guided tours, honeymoons, family trips, and more, has helped her increase her diverse clientele. This training encouraged her to become a certified travel ambassador who now trains other travel agents on how to grow their businesses, including collaborating with other business owners. Sandra is committed to her travel clients, making and keeping the promise to get you there. Again, I'm so excited to have her. This is why the topic today is, are we there yet? So we're going to get started. We're not going to delay any longer. Hopefully you have your mimosa in hand, your pen and your paper, and get ready to take notes. So Sandra, first of all, thank you and welcome to Something in Mimosa. So glad to have you today. How are you?
Oh, I am wonderful, Lady Gail. Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited about this. Thank you.
You are welcome. Well, we're not going to play around. Everybody is ready to get the heck out of their home.
Of course.
They are looking for places to go. Mm-hmm. But yet there are people still wondering about COVID-19. Yes. So just talk to us. Let's put everybody at ease and tell us from the beginning what's happening. What should we look for? Take it away.
Perfect. Okay, well, let's first of all talk about the fact that travel is still happening. It really is. What I like to tell my clients, and whether they have been with me for a while or if they're a new client, what I love to tell them is that we are going to make you comfortable. This is about you having an amazing trip. And I dare say, I don't want you to force yourself to travel. I'm certainly not going to force you to travel. And then you're anxious or, uneasy the entire time. And so what we need to realize is that the industry itself has made provision. And so you hear about airlines that are saying we're going to keep the middle seat open. So a lot of airlines have done that to practice social distancing. You have a lot of the flights where they're not going to fill them up. Even if there is a middle seat open, they're still not going to fill them up. I have been flying even during the pandemic. I've flown,
Wow.
and the flights have been like half, which I love. I wish it would remain that way. But, so the flights have been very comfortable. You get to hotels and resorts. They even have at some resorts where you can be tested for COVID right there.
Oh, wow.
So they are making, every provision to give you the comfort that you want and need. They even practice where they will not have travelers beside each other, rooms beside each other. They've left an entire room open in between. And so, again, you have the testing that's going on. You have the social distancing that they are practicing. They're not filling up the resorts. A lot of the resorts are staying at about 60% just to give the comfort to the travelers.
Oh, wow.
And so, again, it's opened up. It really has. A lot of people never stop traveling, and that was their preference. I, however, did stop for a while, but I did take a few flights during the pandemic. And I must say, I felt incredibly safe. And those in the industry, and they take it very seriously, those, the flight attendants and the pilots and those in the resorts, they respect your space and they want to make it as convenient as possible, even to the point of contactless check-ins.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask this question. I mean, this is all great. And thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I may just get out there. I love that you're saying still 60%. Yay.
Yes.
So I don't have to fight in line for breakfast or for a seat by the beach or anything like that.
Right.
So I've been reading and we have some viewers who have been asking me to bring someone on. I told them I was going to be bringing you on. And everyone's excited. I'm sure people have their pen and paper in hand. So let's talk. What we're seeing is that, let's take cruise lines.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about having to present your vaccine card. But what about the people, and I am vaccinated, got both of mine, Pfizer, but what about the people who are anti-vaxxers, if you will, or those who are saying, I'm not taking a vaccine, but I still want to travel? Are you finding that cruise lines will soften their stance or hotels? What are you hearing about that?
Right now, what I'm hearing, they're taking a pretty strong stance on they want you to be vaccinated. They're already in this battle with Florida,
Right.
where they want to get out and they want to start bringing those ships back in. And so I think they're taking one fight at a time. And right now, the fight is to even start cruises back, to bring them back. And so as far as being vaccinated, they are taking a pretty hard stand on that because they are making sure that their entire staff is vaccinated.
Wow.
And so that's a choice that even their staff is having to make. And they could be vaccines, but they're having to make a decision whether or not they still want to come back and be employed with that particular cruise line. And if so, they would have to be vaccinated.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, listeners, take a sip of that mimosa. We didn't had enough about COVID. Now let's get to the fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We just wanted to get that out the way first. So let's talk about travel. This is the month of May. I know this podcast is up forever and it's on every podcast platform, but let's talk about girlfriend trips. We got Mother's Day coming up on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some things that quick trips or long trips or short trips or overseas trips? Talk about some girlfriend trips. What can we do?
Well, here's one of the things that I love to do because, typically we may not think about a trip for Mother's Day, for instance. And here it is, we're almost there. Mother's Day is Sunday. So to try to come up with something could be a struggle for some people. What I love to do is give your mother something to look forward to. So go ahead and plan the trip. Give her all of the information about where she will be going. Don't wait until next Mother's Day. Have her travel during the summer. So, give her that plan. Can you imagine? Because I know the anticipation of a trip excites me.
Right.
I don't know, just knowing I'm about to go somewhere. Every time I'm in a store, I'm like, oh, got to pick this up from a trip. Got to do this from a trip. And so give them that much, to be excited about. Even for your girlfriends. Hey, you haven't been together since, for about a year now. And so, hey, let's have something to look forward to. I have trips that are being planned for October.
Wow.
Hey, they have something to look forward to, and that's what they're excited about. So I think right now it's more about the anticipation of a trip.
All right. So give us some ideas of where we could go. Get us excited, Sandra.
Let me tell you, some of the places, a lot of the places I've been seeing, Cabo, amazing, which, you got to get to Cabo and do the all-inclusive. We're talking about resorts where the girlfriends are going. They have booked massages. They have booked where they are having brunch together, just their group. So it's very private. And they book these massages to be on the beach too. Let's keep that in mind.
As the sun is coming down on them. All right.
Right. And they have their mimosas too out there. They have that ready. So yes, Cabo is an excellent location. I have a lot of them who are going to Vegas. I've never been to Vegas, and I keep telling them I need to see what's going on over there. But a lot of them want to go to Vegas. And
what's Vegas, the draw? Do you know what the draw is? I mean, I've been there before, but do you know what the draw is that girlfriends want to go to Vegas?
I think it is just the lights, just the city that never sleeps. They feel like now we're coming out of this cave that we've been in, and we want as many lights, and we want it bright, and if we want to get up at 2 a.m. and go somewhere, we want to be able to do that. And so I think that's what it is. It's just the excitement of a city that won't sleep, and we can get up and go at any time. So I think that may be the draw. But of course, the real draw are those all-inclusives. Because again, they would love the cruises, but since the cruise lines haven't opened up yet, I have cruisers, and that's all they did was cruise, but they are so open now to all-inclusive.
That's me, because I was there. Let me tell you, every year it was a cruise. And that when that pandemic hit, of course they were canceled or whatever. And then they've been calling me. And I would have to be honest with you, Sandra. The lady gave me some really great deal on Celebrity Cruise Line, some amazing deal. And I actually said to her, these were my words, people. I said, I don't care if it was $1. I am not getting on a cruise at this moment. Yes. I said, just credibility is going to have to come back for me. Something's going to have to change. So I'm agreeing with you. I have been open to what else is out there.
Yes. And that's what you have to do. They want the same feel because, when you get on that cruise, Lady Gail, let's think about it. We get on the cruise, we can go without any money. Yes. We don't need a checkbook. We don't need a card. We need nothing. But we walk on and we're like, everything. I want everything. I want 2 of everything. And that's good. You can do that. And so you have the same thing, but on land. So they're like, hey, give me an all-inclusive. They didn't really know what it was like. I've had some, they have hit those all-inclusives and they're like, wait a minute, this has always been here? Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes, where they go there and they're like, in my room, I had a little mini bar in my room. And I just knew I couldn't drink anything. And then it wasn't until day 2 that I found out, oh, you refill it? That comes with it? And they were like, yep, it comes with it. They thought, they've been to places where they've like 10 restaurants. And they said, I go to a different restaurant every night. She said, it's just amazing. And so, yes, all-inclusive. If you are a cruiser and you miss cruising the way I miss cruising, all-inclusive. It's the same thing, but on land.
And you say, and I'm glad to hear. So if I want to get 2 lobster tails, like I would
Mm-hmm.
do on Captain's Night
Yeah.
on the ship, I can
Mm-hmm.
get 2 lobster tails.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, and that's what they do. They
I
want two
can
of
have
everything.
my morning mimosa like I did on the cruise.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
absolutely.
So give us like the top 5 hot spots
Mm-hmm.
for all inclusive, like anywhere in the world. What would be your top 5? And let's look at both girlfriends and couples.
Okay, both girlfriends and couples. So we're talking, I would have to say the Dominican. Punta Cana was huge. It's still huge.
Okay.
And I will say, the moment I usually say something about that, I get a look like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to go to the Dominican. I'm not, that's not me. But let me tell you, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It really is. It is safer than a lot of people think.
Because I was going to ask that question. We know we heard, what was it, 2019 with all that mess?
Can I just tell you, absolutely, you're right. A lot of that went on. I at the time had 2 huge parties going. So we're
Oh, wow.
talking probably 16 in one and 22 in another.
Okay.
Can I tell you, I had only one person cancel.
Okay. Okay.
The rest of them, I had in fact, I had a Zoom with them. I brought them on. We had a discussion about it. We talked about safety measures. We talked about going to places together. We just talked about everything that was needed and to be smart about it. And from there, I was sent all of these amazing pictures, and they had a great time. So
Okay.
I
Okay.
understand the concern. We addressed the concerns. I was more than willing to, if they wanted to cancel, we could cancel. If we wanted to postpone, we could do that as well. And so, there's always many options, but I don't want anyone to be afraid to travel. Maybe you don't want to go there. That's
Okay.
fine.
But no, I actually been there too, and I do love it. So
Yes, yes.
I
And it
asked you
is
for your
safe.
recommendation, and that was one, and I love it. I just wanted to say, okay, now wait a minute. We read the newspaper.
Right. And what I love, with my clients, I'm always telling them, talk to me about your fears, your concern, whatever anxiety you have. Let's talk about it and not avoid it. And
Right.
so, if you have a real concern about that, before you cancel, let's talk about that. But I am very open to if you feel like you have to cancel too.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
So Punta Cana, Dominican is what was one. So give me the other 4. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Another one is Cancun. Going
That's
to,
your fave.
that is my fave. It really, really is. Cancun has some amazing adult only. That's what I love about Cancun. Their adult only are just amazing resorts there. So Cancun is definitely high on the list.
Okay.
Jamaica will always be on the list. I
Okay.
mean, and I'm basing this off of my clients, where they want to go, and where a lot of other fellow clients, fellow business owners are booking their clients. And
Okay.
it's definitely Jamaica.
Okay. So we got so far Dominican Republic, Cancun,
Mhm.
Jamaica. Okay, that's 3.
The other one is Florida.
Oh, girl.
I know. I kept thinking, Florida, really? But they are going to Florida. It is
Are they
amazing.
really?
Yes, they are. I mean, they are, but here's the thing. They're going to Florida. They're getting rental property. They're not going to
Okay.
the hotels, because we know, there's nothing all inclusive domestically, there's nothing all inclusive. And so what they're doing instead, because they miss being in large groups, and so they want to bring family, friends, girlfriends, and they're getting some of the luxury rental property. They are
Okay.
going to Miami, Orlando, even Destin, which,
Really?
yeah, I was a little shocked over Destin.
Me too.
But,
You should see my face right now.
but they're doing a lot of Florida. It is, yeah, it's shocking.
Wow. Okay. So we got Dominican Republic, we got
Mhm.
Cancun, we have Jamaica. You had the nerve to say Florida. And what's the fifth? What's the 5th one?
You know what? That's a tough one. The 5th one, oh wow. Honestly, the 5th one, a lot of people aren't doing. They're wanting to go with families. I have to
Okay.
throw that out there. They're wanting
Okay.
families. And so since they're wanting the families, they're ready to take the kids. So they want
Okay.
Disney or Universal.
Okay. So, okay. We got that
Yeah.
with Florida. Okay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that's a little mixed with the Florida, but I still have to mention that the girlfriends are going to Florida and they're doing the spa treatment while
And
they're there at the resorts or having the rental property that can be where you can get a cook to come in.
okay.
And so that's what they're doing. They're having chefs to come in. They are being
Now that
pampered.
sounds like my kind of vacation.
Yes, yes. And so that's happening. But parents are saying, you know what, kids are missing Disney, they're missing Universal. And so we are booking a lot of trips for both of them.
Wow. Okay. So I'm surprised you did not say St. Martin, one of my faves.
Hmm.
And I'm surprised you did not say Puerto Rico.
You know what? Actually, there have been several for Puerto Rico just because for the very reason of not needing a passport.
Okay. Okay.
Getting a passport, if you've not had one, or even if you need to renew your passport, it's been a huge delay. And because of the delay, a lot of people have said, you know what, I don't want to go somewhere. I don't want to stay here in the States. Can I do something that gives me that tropical feel? But I don't need a passport. And
Okay.
so Puerto Rico has been the top choice for them.
Nate, speak to that for a moment. We got about 7 minutes left. So I want to go there. Thank you for raising that. What is the turnaround on getting a passport or getting it renewed? We're in the middle of COVID. I've actually been in the post office where I've heard a postmaster tell someone it's best for them to drive to DC or Michigan out of Ohio to get it back quickly. Can you speak to that at all? What's the turnaround time?
Typically, the turnaround time could be anywhere from about 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
And I know of some during I want to say like the heart of the pandemic, when we were right in smack dab in the middle of it. It was probably, I don't know, 3-4 months before people were getting their passports
Wow.
back. Yeah.
Okay.
Here lately, and I'm not sure if they know about the hunger that we have to get out, passport turnarounds have been reduced to about 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can get it back, brand new passport within 2 to 3, and this is without you expediting it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so if you have everything, your form is complete, you've got your photos, you're sending everything off, you can expect your passport back in about 3 weeks.
That's not bad at all.
No,
Okay.
not at all. Mm-mm.
Okay. So let's speak to, if we can go here for a moment. I know we're jumping around a little bit now, y'all, but y'all know the top 5. Y'all know where to go. So let's get down to some nitty gritty. What is a normal, like say a spa day package? Are we talking $500? Are we talking $1,500? Or are we talking $200? What do you see the norm? Because there's so many women, and that's their thing. They want to go to the spa, especially those of us who are over 40, 45, 50, 55. We want to just go and relax.
Yeah.
So when we're talking money, what should a person be saving, preparing for this girls trip or couples trip or whatever they want to do? Especially if they want to look at spas. What are spa packages running right now?
If you're talking, if you want to go to a Cancun or Jamaica or somewhere like that, anywhere that's not domestic, if you're wanting the spa treatment, first of all, they love to give spa treatments. And so typically packages are going to come with a discount with the spa, either that they're going to give you what they call like resort coupons, so they can reduce that. But at the very least, you can expect to spend, this is at the least, spend $200.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's at the very least. Now, if you want I want to be on the beach, I want an hour-long massage, I then want, I want manicure, pedicure, if you want all of that, then you're talking, up to, starting at $5 up to about $1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Not bad. When I, on my 50th, which is now 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, there was a girls' trip to Martha's Vineyard. Love, love, love Martha's Vineyard. And we went the house route because there was 9 of us. So we went the house route. And we had actually a masseuse come into the home. And some people frowned upon that, thinking, how did you know they were live? So we checked them all out. Are there any pointers for something like that? Because by the way, I would put Martha's Vineyard like in the top 10 for sure. But any pointers on what to do when you are bringing in, if you're doing the home route now and you're bringing in a cook or a butler, because who wants to go away and clean and wash? Nobody. Or a massage person or bartender. What should we look for?
Well, first of all, when you're getting the house, I wouldn't necessarily go the Airbnb route, only because they don't follow best practices.
Okay.
Any
I've heard that. Okay.
Yeah, any travel agent worth his or her, business, and they love their business, they will not go that route. But instead, they're going to go with one that is licensed. They're following best practices. They're following the hospitality guidelines. And so those are the ones you want to stick with. As far as when you're bringing someone in, first of all, check with that particular management, those who are managing the home, the rental property. Check with them first, because they have vetted anyone who's going to come in there. So if you are in need of a chef, contact them first to see, hey, do you all have a chef in mind? Has someone already used one? Because again, they're going to make sure that they're vetted. But if they in fact do not, the first thing you want to make sure, first of all, see if they are online, see if there are any reviews, check that out, see if anyone has ever used them. If you're going to go with someone who is brand new, know that you are taking a risk. If there's no review, if there's no record of them doing this before, it's just a chance that you're going to take. So definitely see if they have done this before, get any references. And this is for anyone. Make sure that those who are, especially if you call in a massage therapist, are you licensed?
Okay.
I need to see that license, because if there are any type of injuries, are they insured? Is their company insured? We want to make sure that they are. And so those are the kind of things, the kind of questions you want to make sure that you're asking when someone is coming in to do that. And especially if you're the host, it could be a girlfriend's trip, but say that you want to really be the host and kind of head it, they're going to look to you to make sure that you've done all of those things, that you have vetted them. Yeah. And so even if you are, this is your first time as well, because you're the host and you're bringing them in, they're going to make sure, they're expecting you to do all of that. And if in fact you don't want to do that, that's when you need to call on your travel agent.
And let's talk about that. We do have a few moments left, and I do want to get that in. Can you talk a little bit about, and you probably have about 60 seconds. You may have a little bit more than that. Can you talk a little bit about I don't want to say the difference of hiring a travel agent and going at it alone, but can you talk about the benefits of going through a travel agent compared to doing it alone?
Going through, first of all, if you do it alone and say that you're going to go and just go online and book something. First of all, online is not going to tell you what's really happening at the resort. For instance, you go on and you book a trip and then you arrive there and oh my goodness, there's construction going on. You had no idea that they had that, but your travel agent would have called them. They would have confirmed that, is there anything happening? Where would my client be, located? So they're going to take the extra step and get on that phone and make the call, as opposed to you just going online, looking at something, clicking it, and paying it. And so they're going to do the legwork. We're going to go behind the scenes. We're going to take the extra step to make sure that the property is right. We're going to check to make sure that the prices that we give you include everything. The worst thing I've had clients that, stepped away for a moment. They've come back and said, I apologize. You know what? I booked my own trip to Vegas. I got there and they wanted this resort fee thing. Well, they didn't know that there was a resort fee. And so they got there, they were shocked. Your travel agent would have been able to tell you, hey, here's the price, your total price, flight and everything. But once you get there, there is a resort fee that you must pay at the front desk. So we give you all of the information. We tell you about the specials and the deals and the packages that haven't hit the internet. And so we have access to those things, those packages and deals that vendors are saying to us, hey, get this out to your clients and get them booked here. We especially have that information and want to get it out to you. So there are definitely a number of benefits and we're going to remind you of their travel insurance and tell you, protect your trip. I know it may sound like, oh, I don't want to pay $100, but it's best to pay $100 as opposed to you losing $1,500 to $2,000.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can speak to that. I actually had to contact a travel agent. Okay, well, I'm glad I went through a travel agent when our flights changed.
Yes.
And trying to rebook was a headache. So it was like, what am I doing? Call the travel agent, and things were taken care of like within seconds.
Yes,
so
yes.
There is a difference. All right, so people are probably saying, hey, I'm ready for a trip and I want to book. I like Sandra, so let me find out how I can reach you. So how can people contact you? And you also, if I understand what you're doing correctly, you're a travel business, but you are also helping other people start their business. So if anybody's saying, hey, maybe I want to get into the travel business, or they're saying, hey, I'm ready to take a trip, how can they contact you?
Wonderful. Yes, I would I would even love to be your travel agent or your business partner or both.
Yeah.
So here's how you can contact me. The best number to reach me is 980-354-4119. Or you can email me at travelwithjlp@yahoo.com.
All right, give it one more time. All right, y'all. I know some of y'all sipping on them daggone mimosas. Put that down and take down her information again. So can you give that to us again?
Absolutely. That's 980-354-4119. And I am at travelwithjlp@yahoo.com.
Wow, this has been great. We could talk another hour, I'm sure, because I'm starting to think of some other things. I'm thinking like Italy. Can we go to Italy? I'm thinking about cruising to Italy. Yeah, girl, I'm going someplace else. I'm thinking about Hawaii. I'm thinking about those infinity pools outside of a room. Yeah, girl. I'm already looking at this mimosa thinking, let me do this.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining me today. This is some good information. I'm excited. I'm ready to start planning something. I'm going to have to hang up and call you afterwards and get me a trip book. But everyone, please, as you're starting to go out and about, the CDC has said you don't have to wear masks outside as long as you're in a small group. But if you're going into buildings or into big gatherings, still wear your mask, y'all. Still social distance. Also still wash your hands. Do what you should do to protect. We want to get rid of the pandemic. We want to come out of it, get rid of this virus sooner than later. So let's all comply to that. Thank you, everyone, for joining me again. I am Gail, your host of Something and Mimosa. Don't forget to visit me on my website, www.gaildudley.com. Again, that's www.gaildudley.com. You can find me on Instagram at Gail Dudley, and that is Gail, D as in David, UD as in David, LEY. You can find me at Twitter at the same address at Gail Dudley. Y'all, don't forget News in Motion. That's happening every Monday through Friday at 7:25 a.m. Eastern Time on the Facebook page or YouTube. You can find me on YouTube at www.youtube.com/Gail Dudley. Thanks again for joining us. I can't wait for next week's mimosa recipe. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a mimosa recipe you want me to read on the air, please send it in to me. That's info.gaildudley@gmail.com. Again, that's info, gaildudley@gmail.com. Until next week, you know what I say. Stay well, everyone. And remember to make some moves.
Thank you for joining us on the Something and Mimosas podcast. And don't forget to come back next week. For more Something and Mimosas, follow Gail on Instagram at Gail Dudley, subscribe to Gail's YouTube, or visit us at gaildudley.com.